Good morning, everybody. Welcome to today's session. My name's Alina, and I'm part of the One System team. I'm one of the digital BDs for Queensland, and I'm going to take you through today's session. This session is predominantly more for maybe principals and administrators. So if you're a salesperson, that's fine. You're more than welcome to stay on. It's no problem at all, but you probably won't get as much out of it in terms of do's and don'ts at this stage, but please feel free to stay on. Right, okay, lovely. So I'm going to kick off because we've gone just a little bit over. The chat is open and one of our team members will be manning it, but if we do move on and accidentally miss your question or we run out of time, please reach out to your digital BDE with any questions that you might have after today's session. Also, if you have been on this session before, it is a repeat because we are running the sessions every week just to give everybody a chance to join live. So if you have seen it before, again, you are more than welcome to stay on and hear us again. Otherwise, you will free up an hour of your day. And also these sessions are recorded as well as the slides that we're going to be going through today in Whiteboard. So they're available there in the training hub in the online training section. Alrighty, so I'll kick off. What you see here is a lovely flower looking graphic. And why I wanted to start with this one today is because while we're going to be talking about the Vault migration, moving our CRMs over to Vault from MyDesktop, it is part of a much bigger picture. So it's not necessarily just about Vault. This is just the beginning of what will be a One System upgrade. So One System 2.0 will benefit across the board in all of those areas, not just the CRM migration. So it will form a bigger and better One System 2.0, starting off with the Vault migrations across the network. Okay, the migration itself. So we'll jump into that and just be aware, this is a bit of a guide as to kind of show you what's going to happen and the phases that we're going to go through. So it's nothing necessarily that you need to start actioning today, and I'll take you through what that looks like. So a slight overview of the migration process, which goes through 3 phases. So firstly, once your migration date has been confirmed, you'll receive a checklist to prepare yourselves for what the migration will look like in the next 2 phases from going live and then post-migration. A team member will let you know and tell you when your migration date will happen. We have been sending out a survey in the Insider. There's a form there that you can fill out and nominate a date from where you would like to be in the months leading up for the rollover, and you can nominate that date. If you don't have that form or if you haven't seen it, again, please reach out to one of your digital BDEs and they will be able to give that to you. So once your date has been locked in, you'll receive communication. And then you'll be asked to nominate an office migration coordinator. So that's the person, that key person in each office that will be taking control of this migration for your entire office. Your go live date, what will happen is you don't actually have to physically do anything for that to happen. So I've had this question a lot where people have asked, well, how do I export my data? How do I put it into the new system? You don't have to do any of that. So just be aware that the process of what you will need to do will be a lot of housekeeping and prepping yourself with training. In terms of the actual move, you won't need to do anything for that, which is great because it will free up a lot of your time and it will make the process a lot more seamless as well. So on your go live date, and we'll take you through a little bit more details about that on the lead up to, but on your go live date, you basically log into Vault and your data will be there. So you don't have to manually do anything for that. You'll obviously download the mobile app, which I'll go into a little bit more details, and then host a bit of a onboarding training session with your internal teams as well. In the post-migration phase, you will be able to update your letter templates and, like I said, do all of that housekeeping things that we're going to go through in a moment. You'll probably be looking at updating a few bits and pieces in your advertising schedule as well, and you'll look at doing a data audit, but this is a little bit post-migration. And of course, a lot more additional support and training after the date that you've migrated. Okay. All right, so pre-migration, you please keep a lookout in the Insider, because all of the information of any changes or anything that's upcoming will be put in the Insider. It's obviously the easiest form of communication that we can have across the whole group. So sometimes it's easy to kind of leave it as unread and go back to it later. But during the next few months, as we do make these migrations, please keep an eye out, especially for the relevant areas of the migration. A form will be sent to you with the updated terms and conditions of the move to Vault. It's obviously a new system, so we'll have to get those forms returned back to us, and your scheduling will be confirmed as well. In terms of resources, there are roadmaps that will be provided for you. There's demo videos, and I'll go into a little bit more details on where you can find those in a moment, because you can start watching them. There will be checklists, so lots of checklists for you to do. You won't be kind of out in the middle of nowhere going, well, I don't know where I need to start. It's all very detailed, and it will take you through step by step the process at the appropriate time to do those steps as well, so you won't get bombarded with everything at once. Obviously, selecting an office migration coordinator, again, that's that one person in your office who will take ownership of this, and that they will work closely with our support team and the local digital BDEs. There's lots of FAQs, and in terms of what comes across, there's lots of questions, understandably, about what comes across, what doesn't come across, the key differences between the two systems, and tips for how to do your audits after you've moved over, and updating all of your templates, as well as some best practice in there as well. There are online videos. This is one part of the series, so how to prepare for the migration, which we're going to go through today. The changes in One System 2.0, there's a separate video on that just kind of takes you through the areas that will be impacted and I guess made better. And there's also another session called Your First 10 Days on Vault that takes you through a little bit of a roadmap on what those 10 days will look like. So it's goes a little bit more in depth than what we're doing today. And of course, your support. So we've got Monique, who's our communication person, who will be scheduling all of your migrations and sending you all this great information. And then of course, local BDEs in your area will support you through this as well. Sorry, I skipped one. I went too far. Okay, so phase 2, the communication you will receive in this phase. So 14 days prior to going live, your preparation, again, the invitation to attend the training for your office migration coordinator as well. You'll get a warning as well. So obviously it won't be your first warning, you'll know you're moving, but 4 days prior, you will get the email saying that we're going to be moving on this date. And then the day before, you'll also get an email advising you that tomorrow will be your first live date. Welcome emails as well, and obviously templates will be available for you. In terms of resources in this stage, your checklists, again, there'll be checklists for your integrations, guides on how to set up your users. So in your user management section, kind of what to tick and what not to tick. There is a lot more functionality in Vault and customization in that area. So we'll give you a rough guide on sort of what you can tick prior to your staff accessing the database. Google chat rooms. So we will be migrating in blocks, I guess, of offices in a particular region. So because we are all in the same boat and you will all be doing that process on the same day, we're going to set up a designated chat room where we'll all be in there and we can ask questions and answer them all at the same time for us. So I think that'll be a really handy resource, and our support staff will be on that chat room as well to assist. Okay, training. So your migration coordinator obviously will attend the training that's provided prior and post. There's app demos on the basics as well. And again, I'll touch on where they are in a moment. And secondary to that, there will be sales team training as well. So entering properties, adding appraisals, the basics on the app and on Vault desktop version. And trust and trust account training and advanced training will also be supplied post-migration as well. Okay, phase 3. All right, so did you know daily facts sheets will come out recently, frequently asked questions will come out as well with this, because as you can imagine, after you move, you're going to have a lot more questions after than you did before. Some of them you'll probably be able to answer yourself because it's not that different. And I know a lot of people are concerned about, oh, how different will it be? How will I do things? Look, it's I think Jackie uses this this kind of scenario. It's like upgrading your phone. So when you upgrade your phone, it might look a little bit different, and some areas might be in a different spot, but you'll still be able to navigate your way around it, especially those of you who have been users of MyDesktop for quite a while. Alrighty, so we're hoping to get some feedback from you also after the migration. So you will get a request for some testimonials and some feedback. It doesn't have to be good. It can be the ugly stuff as well. So please feel free to fill that stuff out. It will help us a long way to just better enhance the process moving forward. This is the resources. This is the area I was speaking about before in the last couple of slides. So there are resources that you can start watching already. I would recommend you watch them now. They're on Whiteboard and they've been put into the Vault hub. There's a little tile on Whiteboard in there. So if you go, you'll see the available training videos, 3 for sales and 3 for admin. For administrators especially, I would probably watch those videos. Well, definitely watch those videos before going live, and then I would watch them again after you have access to the system, because it will make a lot more sense. I know that I did that as well. So prior to even having access, I could watch those. And now that I do have access, I can watch them again and they make a lot more sense. Again, the Google chat room will be available as well. And we'll be starting to do the advanced training for sales trust post-migration. Okay. What can you do to get ready? Well, everybody will probably play a little bit of a part in this, but specifically, this is a bit of, I guess, a weekly sort of time, a little map for you, so you can prioritize what you need to do in your own calendars prior to and after go live date. So things like updating templates and holding team meetings and things like that. It's a rough guide, so obviously you'll be able to, you know, alter this to how your schedule is and what you do in your offices, but all of these are an important part of what will need to happen prior to going live. And I'll take you through those in a little bit more detail. So the first thing that we recommend is the cleanup. So cleaning of the database is always, of course, incredibly important. And we recommend that you continue to do the cleaning of your database as you are normally doing it now. So doing your duplicate checks and tidying up the database. Keep those protocols in place and maintain it at a current level. Don't kind of just stop doing that thinking, oh, well, I'll just do it later. It's good to do it in a bit of both. The question is, do I, don't I? Keep doing what you're doing now, and also you'll have the ability to clean a little bit more in a little bit more detail as well when you go over to Vault. So this is a little small screenshot, so I apologize because it's not in a lot of detail, but Vault does have the functionality to merge multiple contacts at the same time, as opposed to just the one-for-one tick. that we currently have. And it also has the ability to merge duplicate properties together as well. Just bear in mind though, those duplicate properties cannot be merged if they're in an active listing status. So just something to be aware of. But you can clean your database now, and you can continue to clean it when you move over as well. So please don't stop cleaning the database. Okay, a good time is now to actually, this is probably, if you're an administrator and somebody who looks after this area of MyDesktop in terms of communication templates that you have currently, this is the time. And even if you don't have a migration date, even if you have one but it's further away, I would start doing this process now, just because it can be a little bit fiddly. So we would all have existing templates in MyDesktop for emails. I've seen loads and loads of examples where there were old templates for staff that may not longer be there, enhanced templates for properties, obviously, that are no longer needed, and they're just kind of crowding up that space, and it's a bit of a jungle and a mess. If you can just go in there and clean up the things that are just obviously unnecessary anymore and get those out, because they will move across to Vault, but you will need to update them. So you'll need to update a certain merge fields because they'll differ a little bit. So if you take everything across, everything will be there and you'll have to update everything at once that may not even be important. So it's just a waste of your time. Please go in there and get rid of everything that you don't need. And when it goes across, you can only just edit the important ones and the ones that will actually be useful. SMSs as well. So exactly the same as your email templates. You might have a whole bunch of SMSs that are not relevant anymore. Take out anything that's old and it's not needed and leave your basic ones in there. The good thing is with SMSs in Vault, you won't need to fill out those mobile ready forms anymore. They, the mobile setting for each agent will be a user management setting. So it's a tick box and you can just say, yes, this person can do SMSs and untick the ones that you don't want to have SMS. So you won't need that mobile ready form anymore, which is really, really good. So please tidy up your SMSs as well. It'll make life a lot easier for everybody. The third part that you probably want to look at, and this is one that's quite important, not just for the move to Vault, but again, for the entire upgrade for the One System 2.0. So take the time to remove old staff members so they don't carry across to the new system. Obviously, make sure that the data is allocated accordingly. But again, this is something that can sometimes slip, and obviously we're busy and you don't have time to constantly clean this. Take the time now pre-migration to please clean that up. In migrate, it's really, really important. I can't stress this one enough, that you please go into migrate and do a Google takeout for those accounts that you don't need anymore. Do a Google takeout and just remove them if they're no longer required, because they're just taking up space and it'll just carry across to the new system unnecessarily. So it's really good to, it's kind of doing a bit of a spring clean before we start fresh on the new system. Now would also be a good time to update staff bios as well, because of course they're obviously going to cross over. Go into each staff members and just double check that they do have their phone numbers are updated, that their email signatures are updated, their positions might have changed, so update their roles as well. Their bios will probably need a bit of an update. Sometimes, you know, you can write a bio when you start and then 2-3 years later you haven't changed it, where your skill sets may have changed. Go in there and update the bios as well. It's a good chance for everybody to have nice, clean, fresh profiles. So have a look. This is a great chance to just do some tidying up in migrate before removing any unnecessary members in MyDesktop. Okay, just bear with me. My screen's gone wobbly. Okay, so this one, again, this one's another important one as well. Your letter template, so your printable letter templates and any action plans. So clean up and just refine those letter templates. Again, there could be some that have been uploaded a while ago, some that you don't use, some that are just redundant and are no longer necessary. Just get rid of those. And if you want to get super organized, and I do recommend that you do, the letters that you do have in there, you can actually paste them into Doc, so Word Doc. They will work with Word Doc. So currently they work with rich text format. When they get copied across, if you leave them in here in MyDesktop, when they get copied across, they will be available, but they'll be available in rich text format because they come in as they are now. So regardless of when you do it, whether it was pre or post, you can start putting those letters into Word docs, okay? And that's what we can re-upload into Vault. Okay. Training sessions. So as I said before, we're running training sessions on the new One system and what that entails. Today's session, which is prepping for the CRM migration. And then there is also Vault, the first 10 days that we've got sessions on as well. If you can't make those, again, they're available in Whiteboard. So the slides and the video recording of these are available in Whiteboard. So don't stress too much if you miss it on the live session. One thing you can do if you want to, and you can ask your staff as well, if they would like to, is they can download the Vault app. You obviously won't have access to it until you go live, but you'll be ready and you'll have the app downloaded on your phone. Okay, a key piece of this move is communication. We're trying to get out as much communication about it prior to and obviously during the migration and post the migration. It can be very easy for our team members to be maybe a little bit confused, maybe a little bit stressed about what's going to happen. Keep them informed with what's happening and build a little bit of excitement about the move that we're going to make, because the sharing of that information will make it a little bit less stressful, and we can answer some questions along the way for your teams. Okay, your part. What we need to do. So if you're a business owner, some of what will happen in phase 1 is you'll receive the new terms and conditions that I mentioned before. So that will need to be completed and sent back to us. And at this point, that's when you'll nominate an office migration coordinator. So again, that's that really, really key, important person in your office who will be looking after the entire migration for you all. So that will be phase 1. Ensure that your office migration coordinator does attend all the training and fills in all of the checklists that they're sent to prep you for your migration, and provide any feedback to us if you have any. If you want to, just give us some feedback. So you'll receive your forms, you'll nominate your office migration coordinator, and then they will attend the training and proceed with the office checklists. Okay, the role of the office migration coordinator is probably the biggest out of everybody in your team. So in phase 1, you'll receive those checklists that I mentioned before. So it'll be up to you to please fill those forms out and send them back, and any audits that you'll need to do. And another key piece is, like I mentioned before, building a little bit of excitement, of course, awareness of what is happening. And look at your training videos and the training resources provided prior to the migration. You'll be obviously asked to attend certain bits and pieces of training that you'll need to do. You will be the first point of contact for your staff inquiries. So what that means, and let me just explain that. We are working as your support. So as an office migration coordinator, we're your direct support. So we're going to need you to be that sort of filter between the questions that the staff have for the basics, which you will be, of course, trained on, and you'll be ready because you will have done your checklists and you will have watched your videos. So our support team, of course, is always available, but the support team are not there to train. So our support line and our support email and the Vault support, they're not there specifically for training. The training will be done by the Office Migration Coordinator because we will train you. And then obviously you will have priority support from us moving forward. If we get bits and pieces coming through support, like, oh, I've watched this video and I've tried and I forgot how to, enter an appraisal, that will kind of block up the support services for actual technical issues. So if, of course, there is a technical problem that you need to have looked at, the support team is there for that. But please keep the training and the questions within your office and try and get through those with your Office Migration Coordinator. And then obviously come to us as the BDE support team to support you in that. But we can't stress enough that we obviously don't want to bombard the support team with training questions when we can probably answer them through videos or through one-on-one training as well. Please continue to speak to your team about the upskilling that they need to do, the videos that they need to watch. I've had heaps and heaps of agents when I've been doing training in the last week or so saying, oh, I've looked at the Vault videos and it looks cool. Can you tell me more about it? And as much as I want to, we've got to take it like one step at a time and get this migration underway. But it's so good that they're actually going in there and looking at it and getting really excited. So please point them into the direction of Whiteboard so they can have a look at those videos. They'll at least get a feel for the look of it and the functionality that they can expect as well. Okay. Next, so our salespeople. Phase one, get excited. Hopefully they get excited by watching those demonstration videos. And they may ask to work with the Office Migration Coordinator to look at reviewing their database as well. I personally have had a lot of my offices where the agents have said, what can I do to kind of make sure my data is clean before we go over? So work with them on assisting them with that. Of course, they'll need to attend the training sessions, get the mobile, the Vault app. It has amazing functionality. Of course, it will be only available when you go live, but get them to download that to build a little bit of excitement. And just re-establish those plans with the salesperson so that they know this is when things are going to happen. This is when we're going to start tidying up a few templates. This is when we're going to go live and what will happen afterwards. So you can plan some meetings around that pre-migration and post-migration as well. So post-migration, they will be able to obviously log in, and there is an abundance of resources in the Vault platform. They have training videos. There are step-by-step guides on everything and anything in there, so that there are resources there available for them. For the property manager, probably not as much for you guys to do at the moment. The Office Migration Coordinator will look after the checklists in what will affect your area. So you'll work with them on reviewing the rental listings that are going across pre and post migration. They'll be pushed through automatically, so you don't need to do anything with those as well. Please, though, watch the basic videos for entering properties, which again, they are available on Whiteboard now. So if you wanted to get ahead of it, just jump on, because it shows you what the process of putting the properties onto Vault looks like from scratch, that is, not the ones that you've currently got in there. And yeah, continue attending any training that's relevant for your area. Vault does have a property management area, so it does have the functionality to use Vault as your current PM CRM, so it's integrated. It has sales and PM in there at the moment, and I've had this question a lot. The property management side of Vault won't be automatically enabled. It will be done after, if you choose to have that option and if you choose to migrate for the PM side of things. that will be done at a later stage. The most important part at the moment is just to get our data across and get it working seamlessly and wonderfully. So just be aware that it is there, and then you can explore it. But at the moment, it's not available straight away. Okay, this is our team. So there's a lot of support. Like I said, each of you will have at least one BDE that'll be available to support you in this. If you have any questions in regards to, I haven't received that survey to ask me when I want to move over, they can provide you with that link. Once that's been filled out, they can also work with you pre, during and post migration as well. So please reach out to your digital BDE for specific questions. Please watch the videos and attend the training that we do have in regards to the migration, so you're aware of what will happen. But we are all here to help you, and we'll be on the ground as much as possible during your migration as well. Again, please keep an eye out on the Insider for updates. Again, that's the best way that we can communicate to such a large group. So keep an eye out for that, and any updates that are relevant to the migration will pop up in there. Okay, I'm going to stop presenting my screen because that's the end of the slides, but I'm going to jump in just to see if there's any questions that haven't been answered. So bear with me 1 second while I stop sharing. Okay. Let me scroll up. Hopefully I haven't missed any. Okay. How do we know who our digital BDE is? So you can look on Whiteboard. So if you look on Whiteboard and click in the One System area, you'll be able to see the list of people that are in your particular area. So it'll, next to their name, it'll tell you what region they're from. So please look in Whiteboard to find out your digital BDE. Office administrators will more than likely know who that will be. If not, please call the support line. They'll be able to tell you as well. Will there be a help desk readily available for questions and help? So yes, there'll be a chat room. So when your time comes to migrate, you'll be placed in a Google chat room where our support team will be there to help you with any questions. Again, Karina, once you migrate, there will be a huge amount of resources available to you in terms of written documentations and videos as well. Chances are you will find the question there a lot quicker than calling into support. And again, the support line is not dedicated for training. It's more dedicated for any technical issues that they need to look at. And obviously keep in mind that there are 10,000 staff members that will be going through this process. So it's really imperative that we do a lot of self-learning and we try and watch the videos before we raise a question that's not quite technical. But there will be help available to you. Your digital BDEs will have priority for those offices that are migrating at that particular time, and will be dedicated to those. That's why we're doing it in batches, so we can dedicate the resources and help you with anything at the time that you're migrating. How do we get started on migration? Sherry, so at the beginning of this session, I mentioned that in the Insider, we've been sending out a survey that you can fill in. So if you want that survey, please reach out to your digital BDE and they can send you the link, and you just go in and fill out the basic details of your office, and you can nominate a date for when you would like to migrate. Please keep in mind that we try to accommodate as much as possible, but one of our team members, Monique, will be in touch with you after you fill in that form to talk you through what the available dates are moving forward. So again, to request a migration, either get in touch with your digital BDE or fill out that form if you've seen it. Can you please recap what you said regarding PM and it not coming across. Sorry if I confused you, Marie. I didn't mean that your properties won't come across. Everything in the database will come across, and you'll continue to use Vault as you are using MyDesktop. So in terms of that, nothing will change. You'll still upload your listings through there. What I meant was Vault as a system has the capability of using, so say you use Property Me or Property Tree at the moment, it has that functionality. So hopefully that clears up that. When you move over, your property management system won't run through Vault, because that's an added thing that needs to be added at a later stage, and Emily Sim and her team will work on that. But your properties for property management, everything will come across as normal. So I hope that's cleared up that question. I haven't confused you all too much. Okay, lovely. Again, please reach out to your digital BDEs. If you don't know who that is, jump on Whiteboard, it'll all be there, or ask someone in your team, surely, hopefully they know who one of us is. All right, thanks guys, really appreciate you joining. Do you have a specific deadline that you expect to have everyone? Good question. Yes, so we are hoping to work on a deadline for September this year to have a complete migration. That's the big aim. So anywhere between now and September will be the likely date. Okay, beautiful, lovely. I'm going to jump off, guys. Have a really great day. Thank you so much for attending, and any questions, please shout out. Hopefully we can get back to you as soon as possible. All right, bye.